हरि ओम। सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Let us chant the dhyana shlokas. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaadhyayiniim Amba tvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshiniim. Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullaravindayata Patra Netram Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaham Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipaham Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gita Amrita Duhe Namaha. Sarvopanishado Gavo Dugdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhed Bhoktam Dugdam Gitamritam Mahad. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Bhishma Drona Tatha Jayatradhajalam Gandharani Lotpalam Shalya Grahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Velakulam Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makaram Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavai Rananadi Kaivartaka Keshavam Parasharya Vachasaroja Mamalam Gitatakam Dotkatham Nanakyanaka Kesaram Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitam लोकेशज्जनषट्पदैरहरहं पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिन श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसां पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यां तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणां देवाय तस्मै नमः. The topics discussed were role of faith. Number 2, not to criticize others or find faults. Number 3, I know attitude. Number 4, concept of devotion. And number 5, have a purpose in life. Where there is action, there is productivity. Where there is productivity, there is prosperity. So the maxim, action is the insignia of life. And if a person is able to identify with the larger cause, starting from you, the individual, a person can identify with the entire humanity or the universe, meaning ranging from the individual, the family, society, community, nation, humanity, the entire universe. The choice is ours. Greater the purpose, greater the inspiration to work. Number 1. Number 2, if the purpose is selfish, a person is agitated, the mind is not peaceful. It is a law that selfish person will be agitated. Unselfish person will be peaceful. So when a person identifies with a larger cause, when I say a larger cause, the larger cause can be the family when compared to the individual. The larger cause can be the society, working for the society or community rather than the identifying with the individual or the family. The larger cause can be the nation. The larger cause can be the entire humanity. The largest can be to attain realization, the entire universe. Friends, if you identify with the family, you don't have to be afraid what will happen to me. That you is part of the larger circle, the family. the family is part of the society or the community. So who will take care of the family? The doubt need not be there. The fear need not be there. In fact, they will be well taken care of. The choice is ours. If you work for the nation, you, the individual, the family, the society, community is also well taken care of. So if we raise ourselves, and if each and every individual is working for a purpose, something beyond ego and egocentric desires, there is unselfishness in the bosom. Therefore, the person is productive, prosperous. At the same time, the mind is peaceful. Behind action and the peace of mind, what is important is what we have not discussed all this while is a person has to think, use one's intellect. Intellect is the faculty to think, to reason, to judge, to discriminate, weigh the pros and cons and come to a decision. The world consists of objects and beings. Objects are inanimate, there is no life. So that which has got life can be subdivided into plants, animals and human. Plants have a physical structure, physical body. For all practical purposes, plants do not have likes and dislikes. There is no mind. I don't know about the feelings. Few people say they can feel. You talk to them, they grow. But for all practical purposes, we can say it is rudimentary. Not the feelings, the likes and dislikes are not developed as that of an animal or a human. Is there any thinking involved in plants? No. Now come to the animal. Animals have a robust body. They have very strong likes and dislikes. The pet at home is fed with a bone. The pet is happy. Has a mate. The pet is happy. Otherwise, the pet is unhappy. You go out of station for a week or 10 days. The pet doesn't know that the master is not at home. They can feel. How do you know that they have feelings? When you come back, the way how they express themselves, roll over you, lick you, etc. The pet shows, reveals, expresses one's emotion. Not to that extent of jealousy, greed. Yes, anger is there. Desire is not fulfilled. You see all the carnivores. When they're being hunting, when they go for hunting, so all the carnivores come and take their share. How ruthless they are, competitive they are. The young one, for example, you see the tigress has given birth to the cubs. what great care the tigress is taking care of those cubs. With those two powerful teeth, they are able to hold the neck and with tenderness pick it up, pick those cubs, take them to a nearby safety place. Care, love is being shared. Now, the same cub is grown up, doesn't know who the mother is, father is. Now that 3-year-old or 5-year-old has now become a big, robust, creature now, strong enough to, powerful enough to hunt on their own. If food is available, that spotted deer, that striped zebra, the wildebeest, they will fight each other, show their anger. With the tigress, with what teeth they were able to pick up those cubs, with the same teeth is now tearing open that bison or the wildebeest or the zebra. On one hand, the emotion is being shown when they are young. Now when they are grown up, there is no emotion there. There is no remorse. Why should I kill that spotted deer? So cute the creature is. Can I have a vegetarian diet? Not possible. They can't think. So, plants have a physical body, no feelings, no thinking. So let us assume we have a chart. On this side we have plants, animals and human, and on the top we have physical body, mind and intellect. So against plants you can say a tick mark against the physical body, and X mark or the into mark against the mind, the likes, dislikes, feelings, emotions, and the into mark against the intellect, thinking. When it comes to animals, a tick mark against the physical body, a tick mark against mind, feelings, emotions, likes and dislikes, and for all practical purposes, they can't think. Rudimentary. So again, an into mark against the intellect column. What do you mean by rudimentary here? The pet is able to identify, discriminate between the stranger and its master, one's own master. Basic discrimination between food and dirt. Not to that extent, why am I born a carnivore? Why am I born as a vegetarian? Why am I born as a tiger? Why not a cow? There is no thinking. Now the third entity, humans. Physical body. Do you possess a physical body? Yes. A well-developed physical body. The physical body contains organs of perception, jnanendriyas, the five senses, eyes, ears, nose, taste, and then skin, the touch. And karmendriyas, again 5 in number. Limbs, hands, speech, organ of procreation, the organ of evacuation, secretion. Do we possess likes and dislikes? Do we possess emotions? Do we possess desires? Yes. So a tick mark against physical body, a tick mark against the mind column also. Range of emotions, range of likes and dislikes. My master Swami Parsarthi always used to say a human being is a bundle of likes and dislikes. Right from childhood, I'm not purposely using infancy. Infancy means 0 to 5. Yes, at the age of 3, 4 and 5, very powerful likes and dislikes are being expressed. I like this food, I dislike this food. I like this person, dislike this person. I like this color of dress, I dislike this color of dress. I'd like to be a vegetarian, dislike to be a non-vegetarian. So the parents at home, the relatives at home, you like this, you take it. Don't like this, don't take it. They are also pampering our likes and dislikes. Therefore, we become very powerful bundle of likes and dislikes. So what we like to do may not be what we ought to do in life. And later stages in life, we get into lots of problems. Studying in college, all our likes are not fulfilled. Are we prepared to meet those challenges? So right from early childhood, if the education is being imparted, the discussion is not that. We are branching off, deviating from the topic. Plants, animals and human, physical body, mind and intellect. That is the topic we are discussing. So if that education is given there on likes and dislikes, then we become a complete person. Not that we have to, leave our likes and dislikes. At least let us be aware of it. If need arises, yes, we can govern ourselves, manage ourselves. Range of emotions from being good to evil. A good nature, being humble, that quality of forgiveness, the quality of giving. As against these, that emotion, greed, anger, lust, jealousy, arrogance, so we have a powerful likes and dislikes, the mind here. Now, friends, when it comes to human beings, so far with reference to plants and animals, we have just discussed about intellect. But when it comes to human beings, this intellect, the basic faculty is to think, discriminate, reason. Now, this intellect can be divided into gross intellect and subtle intellect. And this is applicable with reference to human being alone. That faculty applied in the terrestrial world to judge, discriminate, reason, it is given the name as the gross intellect. Even in the terrestrial world, there are gross field of activity, subtle field of activity, yet the word used is the gross intellect because the function is being utilized in the terrestrial world. What is this gross field and subtle field in the terrestrial world? What dress to wear? Should I be a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian? Should I listen to this lecture or not? Should I be an engineer or a doctor? Be a businessman or a salaried person? Should I go for one more, roti or not? Chapati or not? All these are all gross. Should I get married or not? Should I produce children or not? How many? 1, 2, 3. All these are all gross decisions. As against that decision taken in a very subtle field. A scientist working in NASA. The field may be subtle, but still it is part of the terrestrial world. Therefore, the gross intellect is being utilized there. when a person discriminates between the terrestrial world and the transcendental, is there anything beyond the terrestrial world? When we posit something beyond the terrestrial world, that could be a transcendental, when a person discriminates between what is transient and what is real, what is unreal, and is there any reality, then this gross intellect does not play a role there. We bring in that word called sukshma buddhi. So it is called tikshna buddhi and sukshma buddhi. The gross intellect and the subtle intellect. The field being subtle, it is not something which can be seen, which can be touched, felt. Friends, only a human being possesses this faculty called the intellect, and it is only a human being who possesses the subtle intellect. That person who has developed the gross intellect may not possess a subtle intellect. When you start discussing about the transcendental, something beyond what science talks about, the concept of self, the concept of supreme reality, the law of causation, then sometimes even that person who possesses the gross intellect may not come along with you. Whereas that person who has developed the subtle intellect may or may not focus their energy on developing the gross intellect. If any need arises, in a jiffy, they can spend time in that field of activity in the terrestrial world and develop the thinking faculty even in that field of activity. So in simple terms, that person who possesses that subtle intellect can focus on the grosser aspect of this world, and that person who has developed the gross intellect finds it difficult to identify with the subtle aspect of this world. It is like you have a screwdriver which is used for the automobiles, the gross equipment. The same screwdriver which is used for the automobile cannot be used for a wristwatch. The instrument cannot be utilized here. Though the screwdriver is the same, one performs a gross operation, another performs a subtle operation. Coming back here, have a purpose in life. The reason why I am now, elaborating on this is the topic for the day is do not justify your actions. So when a person has chosen a field of activity, in that field of activity has pitched up a purpose which is beyond selfish interest, then the word duty, obligatory duty, comes into force. In Sanskrit, we have the word niyatam karma. Niyatam karma means what one ought to do, supposed to do. This is composed of nitya karma and naimittika karma. So this obligatory duty is of two things: daily routine duty and special occasional duty. Nitya, daily. Naimittika, special, occasional. So daily routine, from the time we get up till the time we go to bed, there are certain duties which we are supposed to do it, whether we like it or not. Brushing, bathing, eating food, from gross to subtle, whatever it may be. Naimittika, guests have come. That is not, you're not going to take the guests out on a daily basis. So they are there, on some special purpose, occasional purpose. So you take them around. They have come for a purpose. You keep aside your daily routine for those few days, and now that becomes a special occasional duty. We can't say, no, I will not do this. So these two are important, ought to be done. And there is something called Nishibda, forbidden, and Kamya, desire-ridden. This desire-ridden is also to a certain extent acceptable. But Nishibda karma is forbidden. Coveting another's wealth, coveting another's wife, these have been done in the scriptures. That's why you'll find outstanding epics talking about these forbidden action. And there was a fall. The entire Ramayana is that person Ravana abducting or coveting another's wife. And there was a fall. In the Mahabharata, Duryodhana coveted another's property. Forbidden. They go to the extent of saying even felling a tree, cutting a tree is forbidden. Is equal to killing a Brahmin. To that extent, anything which has got life should not be killed. Then how can we eat food? Then we can't kill plants, we can't kill animals, leave alone not killing human beings, with minimum damage. So, not to justify your actions, in order to perform your desire-ridden and that forbidden action, there is a force developing within to make you perform that action. You reason for your justification and then you console yourself, yes, because of these reasons I am doing this desire-ridden, I am doing this forbidden action, which was not supposed to do it. There's a beautiful poem by Jane Taylor who is talking about the poem The Pond. So a chick was fascinated by the ducklings swimming in the water. Ducks can swim. They have the web. So they are able to swim beautifully. The chick is sitting on the, banks, seeing the ducks swimming. A thought is planted. Why not I also swim? Tempted. The mother bird has warned this chick not to venture into water. So once when the mother has gone out to fetch some food, this young one is sitting on the banks, and now this desire has transformed into insatiable obsession. So the word used there is, I am really remarkably fond of water. Forbidden action, not to get into water, but that fascination is there, desire is there, insatiable desire is there, uncontrollable desire. It's like a flood of thought, not able to control. Then beautifully the poet is talking about how the mind which has got that insatiable desire to swim has completely taken over the intellect, the thinking faculty. So now, for this reason, I have brought in plants, animals and human, physical body, mind and intellect. So physical body, wants to swim. It is not the physical body wants to swim. It is the mind, the strong like, forcing the physical body to swim. So the subtler equipment, the intellect, since the animals the bird do not possess here, there is so-called reasoning, the beautiful lines there, though my beak is pointed, their beaks are round, as their beaks are round, is that any reason that I should be drowned? My beak is pointed, as their beaks are round. Is that any reason that I should be drowned? First of all, there is no intellect, there is no thinking. So the intellect is held hostage by the powerful like here, insatiable desire here. Ventures into water. Reasoning thus, the chick enters the water, splash and dash, and perishes, dies. So, what we learn from this is, at times, the mind is very powerful and say, no, why should I do this daily routine? I am tired, fatigue. I don't want to do this occasional duty. So justify why I should not perform my duty. Be it the politician, be it the sportsman, teachers, doctors, every individual. Refrain from doing one's duty. So that concept here is that whether we like it or not, that predominant like should be reasoned by that subtler intellect. Therefore, when we are stopped, from doing things that are forbidden, we try to justify, just to please ourselves. So that we want to perform that desired an action. We want to perform that forbidden action. Most of the times we refrain from doing our duty also. So what happens is, we perform that action which we are not supposed to do it. Therefore, we, commit that grievous fault and we do not know the consequences of that action there. Land up in trouble which can be detrimental or sometimes even fatal, as that of the chick here. So to come back to this topic here, that do not justify your actions. Take 100% responsibility upon yourself. If that concept of duty is instilled in our mind, then we don't look forward for that Friday evenings. All the time we are performing our action. So as against duty, the word used is claiming rights. So one of the fundamental value of life is, number one, action. Number two, having a purpose. Be objective so that the likes and dislikes, the emotions do not play a role in deciding what we are supposed to do. Does not derail us from our objective. And very, very important is, not to justify one's action and perform our duty and not claim rights. So here, that concept of justification is explained through this poem here, The Pond. So if you analyze the topic so far, what we have discussed, faith, that extrovertedness quality to criticize others, start with that attitude that I do not know, love our neighbor so that we are able to love mankind, have a purpose, keep aside the likes and dislikes, justification, and perform duty. Friends, if we perform these, then what happens is that name and fame and power and position come to us, which are comforting to us. It is like toys that bring us joys. And that's what the next topic is. What toys that bring joys? Coventry Patmore talks about this beautiful poem here, The Toys. The motherless child is struck by the father. The child is disturbing the father who was performing some duty. A couple of times the father said, "Don't disturb me, I am at desk, I will come and join you," but the child is disturbed. The father strikes the child, and the child goes. And later on, the father repents why he has beaten the child. When the father goes to the bedside, beautifully, the child has arranged all the toys which are comforting to the child, and still the eyes are wet, and the child is fast asleep. Then Patmore beautifully talks about how these toys give them that comfort, that joy, and the childishness in that child when it will go away. So we will discuss this topic in our next session. Hari Om.